Welcome to Oregon State University's College of Education information session. My name is Megan Christoph, and I'll be your presenter today. Thank you for writing down, first of all, thank you for writing down on these pieces of paper your answers to the question, why teaching? And I would like to read a couple of them today as we do our presentation. So, one student writes, I really enjoy working with kids. I like them and they always seem to like me. I'm not sure what or who I'd like to teach, but I know that I connect well with young people. So I'm here to get some information about the College of Education's programs. Welcome to the information session. The OSU has their College of Education has two different levels of programs, undergraduate and graduate. And right now we're going to talk just about the undergraduate program. They have a very cool bachelor's degree, which is called the Education Double Degree. And what happens with this is that students can choose a subject that they're going to study in college, and perhaps it's biology or French, social studies, and they take that, they study for that and get their degree in that, but they also choose to get a second degree in education. So for 40 credits more, you will study how the methods and the skills that are necessary for you to do well in a classroom, to manage and teach students. And at the end of this double degree, you'll be able to earn a State of Oregon teaching license. The Education Double Degree, there's 4 different levels, age groups basically. They're called authorization levels: early childhood, elementary, middle level, and high school. And that's the focus. And for people who aren't quite sure exactly where they want to be, what age group they want to teach, students do get classroom experience in the schools, and they get to talk to an advisor and get support from the Education Double Degree student ambassador. So there's some information that you can get, there's experience, there's resources to better inform your decision about which of these authorization levels you might want to pursue. Another student wrote, when I was in school, there were very few teachers who looked like me. Everyone was white and no one spoke Spanish. As a Latino at that school, I felt like I didn't belong in the world of ideas and education, so I kept quiet, hoping to not be noticed. I want to become an educator because I want to be a role model for Latino children. I want them to feel part of the school. I want them to be proud of their heritage, to speak out, and to dream big dreams. And that is awesome. As many of you know, Oregon has really changed in terms of its population over the past 10, 15 years. 10 years ago, 1 in every 5 children was from an ethnic minority. Now in Oregon, one in every 3 children are from an ethnic minority. And Oregon State University's College of Education really tries hard to train educators to work with a diverse student population, and they're also reaching out to get students who come from various backgrounds to become teachers in the program so that they can go back into the schools and become the role models for our Oregon children. As a student at Oregon State University, there's a lot of support for minorities here at the university. So the Intercultural Student Services has initiatives, programs, cultural centers to create community and give support to various minorities. We also have other diversity resources at the college, and you can see all this. You have it also on your handout. It's pretty cool. Any questions so far? All right. The third response I'd like to read, which is the following. My mom didn't graduate high school. The only people who talked to me about going to college and getting financial aid were a few of my high school teachers and the counselor. Without their interest in and support of me, I don't know if I would have even graduated high school, let alone start college. So my answer to the question why teaching is that teaching and counseling changes lives. I'm living proof of that. So whoever wrote that, awesome, welcome, we're glad you're here. So as I mentioned earlier, we do have graduate programs in the College of Education, and you can see that you can get a master's degree or a doctoral degree in counseling, among other degrees. There's also extra support for students who are first generation college students, veterans, students with disabilities, single parents, rurally isolated folks, older than average folks. There's a bunch of services here at OSU. And they're pretty exciting, frankly, and I recommend checking them out. And for students who have children, there's the OSU's Family Services, the Associated, it's hard to say, Associated Students of Oregon State University, Task Force on Non-Traditional Affairs. Again, lots of resources for students who are parents and want to be able to bring their kids into school, childcare, etc. And then the last thing that I would like to respond to is I would like to give you my personal response to the question, why teaching? And my background is that I've taught with basically adults for the last 20 years, adult basic skills education. And I've found that it's been really rewarding because there's an emotional component and there's an intellectual component. So it's very stimulating both of those ways. And you know, a really basic and important part of being a teacher is building relationships, whether it's with your students, with their families, with colleagues. It's really important that people feel like you care about or know that you care about them, that you want to hear their voices, that it's a safe place for them to be. And these relationships that you build they're not superficial, they're authentic. And that's fantastic. Like, that's what the good stuff of life is. So that's a huge part for me for teaching and a great reward. And then the other thing is the intellectual part, which is the creative problem solving. You have students who come in. You need to figure out what they know, what they don't know, what are their barriers to learning, how do they learn best. You need to create lesson plans, activities, units. You collaborate with other educators to do some of this. Once you've given the lessons, you need to analyze how well those lessons worked, how could you have done it better. All of these are very intellectual activities, and they're stimulating. And of course, you're constantly seeking out new, interesting materials, resources, technologies to use in the classroom. So I find that teaching is emotionally gratifying and intellectually stimulating, and I encourage you all, if you have more interest in the College of Education, that you check out the resources available at Oregon State University. You talk to advisors, you talk to student ambassadors, and ask me questions after today's session, and we are more than happy to help you on that path towards whatever career you are interested in. Thank you so much.